Hey, how's it going guys? Captain Kuba here and welcome to another God of War video. As I'm sure you all know by now, the gods from Santa Monica Studios have blessed us with more information about God of War Ragnarok. Or at least, that's what many think. Yesterday, Santa Monica decided to prepare new God of War players with a recap of the first game's story. If you haven't or can't play God of War 2018 for some reason, I recommend watching this video to be all caught up when God of War Ragnarok releases on November 9th. Now, as usual with God of War fans, we didn't just sit there and enjoy the video Sony spent so much time and money to make. Instead, we all started to look very closely for clues. And right off the bat, fans noticed a nice little callback to the boat captain from the first game, a character that has been turned into a running gag in the series by this point. Something else I noticed was the red Bifrost on the bookshelf. To my knowledge, the Bifrost never looked red in the first game, so maybe this could mean something in the story? I don't think so. We've seen some new footage from the game and Kratos' Bifrost is always blue. And I really can't think of a story scenario that would require the Bifrost to turn red. So in my opinion, I think it was just an overlooked prop for the shoot. Now, the thing that really has people talking about is this character played by Felicia Day. We're never given the name for this character, but some God of War fans believe that Santa Monica is teasing the character of Faye with her. So with this video, I wanted to analyze the evidence people are using to support this theory, and ultimately tell you whether I believe it or not. Now, for those of you who are new to the God of War series, Faye is Kratos' wife and Atreus' mother. Before she died, she asked Kratos to spread her ashes from the highest peaks in all the realms. While in Jotunheim, both Kratos and Atreus come to the realization that Faye was more than she appeared. She was a giantess and one of the most powerful ones as well, as she was able to use her prophetic powers to predict her adventure from start to finish. From her past, we know that Faye hated the Aesir gods and fought them by ruining their schemes. And there's also a tapestry in Tyr's temple showing both her and Tyr discussing something, most likely a plan to get the giants out of Midgard, something that Tyr eventually succeeded in doing. Aside from this, not much else is known about Faye, but even with this little information, fans are still hopeful that we'll see her in the next game. After all, it is the last Norse game in the series, so now would be the perfect time to see Faye. Now, after I heard the theory that this was Faye's voice actress, I quickly went to God of War Ragnarok's IMDb page to see if it had been updated recently. But as I suspected, Felicia Day is nowhere to be found. This could be because Santa Monica is keeping this reveal a secret from us, which makes a lot of sense. Or the simpler theory, Felicia Day is not working in God of War Ragnarok. So if she's not confirmed, then why are so many God of War fans theorizing that Felicia Day is Faye's voice actress? The first piece of evidence they point to is how her character is standing at the start of the video. Fans have noticed that she seems to have a similar pose to the one Faye has in the Jotunheim mural. And I gotta say, as silly as this quote-unquote evidence sounds, I find it somewhat compelling. But if you want more concrete proof that Santa Monica might be teasing Faye, just listen to what she says about the ravens.
Odin's filthy spies. That old man sees more now than he did when he had both eyes.
Now, if you have read the God of War novel, you might remember that Atreus talked about how Faye was always vigilant of ravens. This was an attitude she passed on to Atreus, and at the end of the novel, when talking about Faye's falcon, Atreus says this: "I knew she'd never desert us. From now on, she'll protect us from Odin's little spies." And once again, fans have noticed how similar these two lines sound, and think that this might be a hint of some kind. So let's conclude. Could Santa Monica be teasing Faye in this story recap? If I'm being honest, the evidence here is a bit flimsy. There are no obvious connections that we can make from this character to Faye. For example, if she was wearing a yellow dress, I would be more inclined to believe the theory. But I also don't blame God of War fans for coming to this conclusion. I think the post at the start on her saying Odin's filthy spies was clearly done on purpose. Sony and Santa Monica knew that God of War fans would lose their minds about a possible Faye confirmation. And it really worked, as it got a lot of people talking about Ragnarok on Twitter and other social media sites. Now, could Felicia Day be the voice actress for Faye? I honestly don't see why she couldn't do it. She's a talented actress and could probably play the role very well. And even though Faye is currently dead in the story, we know there's going to be a lot of time travel in God of War Ragnarok. So fans expecting to see Faye is not the craziest theory. And also, if the theory I made a couple days ago is right, then there's a possibility that future Faye is hiding in the current timeline. So there's definitely a possibility of seeing her in God of War Ragnarok, but I just don't think this story recap is definitive proof. But what do you guys think? Could Santa Monica be teasing Faye right in front of our eyes? Or was this just an awesome gig for Felicia Day? Whatever your take on this topic is, make sure to leave it in the comments section below. As always, I want to give a big thanks to all of my members for supporting the channel monthly. Lately, I have been getting a lot of members, and I honestly can't thank you guys enough for the support. People like Spartan for Hire, A Potato, PJE401, and Nate the God 019, to name a few, are truly the backbone of this channel. Thank you guys so much for helping me make these videos on YouTube. I would also like to thank everyone who likes and shares my videos. I know it doesn't seem like much, but trust me, it really does help. And with that said, thanks for watching, and remember, go forth in the name of Ragnarok.